Stays crunchy. Stays crunchy. And milk.
Man, listen. Y'all been like, where the show been for like the last 2 weeks? Well, last week when I go to edit the show that would have gone up, that mathin'? Yeah, that makes sense. The audio was real jacked up, so I'm like, oh, I can fix that. I know what that is. I'm like, no, the audio was real jacked up. It was boned. It was all kinds of like sounds happening in the background. I was super duper low. Stuff I was playing was just as bad. Box's audio was bouncing all over the place. It was bad. Like, you can go, the live version is up still if you want to go down into our YouTube channel and hit the live tab. I didn't take it down or anything like that there. But we're doing 565 over again. Not going to discuss the same things because at this point some of the stuff is out of date. We talked about the Super Bowl and so forth. But it was real fucked up. But nah, not just that. So of course, like I'm saying, in the episode, I get basically so like in my own head about it. I'm like, I don't even feel like doing a show this week, so we didn't do a show last week. But I had done on Valentine's Day. Me and Vanessa sat down, and we don't really do Valentine's Day in this house, but we sat down and recorded we tried for the patrons, and I go to upload it, no sound in the video, like. I made a whole new, which of course I'm going to play for you guys, so, you know, so you can see it. Made a whole new intro, you know what I'm saying? A little Valentine's theme for it, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was going to be very fun. And like I said, that had audio, but then the video that we filmed did not have audio, which was us trying some of the stuff Nick Jew had sent some weeks back. We finally sat down to chop it up and try some of that, along with various candy hearts to see which was the best candy heart. And I guess I have the video and we could probably go in and just do VO over it, you know, and that might happen. But still, it was just upsetting. And I was like I said, it was a lot of broken podcast shit that had your boy upset. But I'm gonna play this for you because I like the way it turned out. Box, if you can let me know what you think of how this intro turned out. I think it's like 45 seconds, I think. See how clean that fade was at the end? That's some shit I figured out recently how to do that in video. There's a whole thing.
I felt like I was in one of those tunnel of love rides.
I feel good about that. I feel like that speaks out of. But I do that. So I try to, because I've gotten exceedingly good at it, not to be on my own dick, but I'm kind of getting better at it as I do it more. So I like making these intros for the patrons. Basically, they get their own little intros for the videos and the items we make for them. And so, like I said, that was you, the freebies getting a look at some of the shit some of the work we put in on the other side. And like I said, I hooked that up and I did that like in real short order. And like we sit and we try some things and we have fun doing it. And then I go to edit it. So it's like, oh, let me get this up today. And I'm like, I bet you, hold on, you know what? I actually can play you it. And you can see that it has no sound. Give me a second. Let me pull it up in media player. And let's clear out anything else that might be a media player. Give me a second. What is going on? My Windows Media Player is a weird program that still exists within. And I'm going to start this, but I want to fast forward to where the video starts because you don't have to hear all of the intro I just showed you. And then let me share the screen. you'll be like, huh, you're right, T. There's no sound in that video. Turn screen, share, pop, and then we push play. And look, it's me and Vanessa. We look great, having a good time, ready to share with you the joys of various, foods and stuff. Here, I'll even fast forward. Look, we're testing candy hearts. That whole thing they do on YouTube, where they hold them to the camera and they put their hand behind it, works like a champ. Something I've seen people do before, it actually works. So, like I said, we tried candy hearts. We tried fig and matcha green tea Oreos. That's one of the things that Nick sent us. We tried. Let me see where they at. Do I hold them to the camera? We tried these little vanilla cake rolls. Yeah, that's what that is. Actually, I might have some of those. Yeah, I do. Here, we tried those. Here, let me stop sharing my screen so you can get that on the big part of the screen. But yeah, we tried those. I got a few left. Decent. I was hoping they were going to be like, Japanese Twinkies. They are not. They are their own thing. They own thing. So, but it stunk, people. It stinks when the business don't business like it's supposed to be business, and then it takes the wind out my sails, and I'm like fuck all this shit for a little bit, and that's my own emotional whatever situation. But back at it like a bad habit.
Why we didn't record last week?
It really is. I was not happy, bro. Like I said, that when that one didn't work, and then I go to edit the show that was supposed to 565, the 565 that was supposed to go up last week, and it didn't work. I was like, I need a moment. So this is like,
like inside baseball for those listening. All I got was we're not recording this week text. See you next week. Like I didn't get any context. Know why we weren't recording. Just don't show up. And I don't show up about 20 minutes before I was supposed to show up.
Yeah, it was very upsetting, y'all. So grumpy me. But again,
it worked out for me because honestly, I didn't want to record last week anyway. I was struggle busting through my medications and stuff. I was tired and I didn't have the energy and the desire. So I'm sorry, that it took losing media for that to come to fruition. But it's not like I wished it to happen.
Box willed that shit to be, y'all.
I was like, come on, titty.
All right. Well, let's see. The couple of things that from the original 565 that I want to be able to tell you is the commercials of the Super Bowl were not all wonderful, but some of them, there were a few amongst them that I really did fuck with. The one was that Seal one, the Mountain Dew, and the Lava Reese's Cup commercial. Those two of the other commercials we talked about, and the Matt Damon, David Beckham commercials were some of the three that we talked about that I really enjoyed and would highly recommend to you. If you didn't watch Super Bowl and didn't see those ads, go look them up. They're super fun, and I had a good time talking about them with Box. Me and Box talked about the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. That is my NFC team. Has been since the days of Randall Cunningham, and so I was happy that they won. We talked about that, and I don't know. That's really kind of about it. What'd you think? What came to your mind? Or just you remember that's what we talked about?
That's what we talked about. Like, it was 2 weeks ago. A lot of shit goes that happened between then. So when you started replaying the conversation, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that is what we did.
For sure. And like I said, if you want to see it and hear how bad it sounds, it's over there. It's on the live tab of, because we do this live. This is happening live right now. We do this on the live tab of
which is YouTube. So much harder than it used to be.
You think?
Well, yeah, because now I have to be extra careful not to say something I'm not supposed to.
I feel like we don't even. I feel like we've have practiced this for so long and done it so well that it's never have been an issue like that. Like we have not been like, at this place we work at.
Because I know that we're live. Before I could have gone off on a tangent and just been like, I will fix it in post. But now that this shit's anybody can be here watching, I have to make extra special care that I edit names when needed, avoid certain things, and so.
You've always been pretty good about the name editing thing, though. I feel like you always say my buddy or whatever and so forth and so on, and I think you've always been good at that. So
I know. Admittedly, Anthony, I think was probably the worst of all of us when it came to self censorship with impertinent information. So love the man, but yeah, I think one time he said his girlfriend's name like 6 times in one story on accident.
I still don't quite understand why we don't say her name, but we don't at his request, at his behest, and so it's just what it is. So I actually dreamt about him in this show last night. I need to reach out to him and be like, "Hey man, what's going on, man? What's up? I'm trying to sit down and make art, but otherwise." That's just what's been calculating, y'all. A little catch up on behind the scenes here at House Skim, the house that Horatio Magellan Crunch built. Saw a TikTok yesterday. Some dude was like, "Did y'all know who Captain Crunch's real name was? Horatio Magellan Crunch?" And I had to just like, of course I do. But what he did put me on the game with is, do you know Count Chocula's name? Count Alfred Chocula.
Would have never gotten that with a million guesses.
He also named the Pillsbury Doughboy, but I know the Pillsbury Doughboy's name. His name is Poppin' Fresh, which is probably one of the dopest names in the food game. But of course, they didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Because they had a product that was called Poppins or something like that back in the day, and I think that's how I ended up getting that name. But yeah, Poppin' Fresh, not Lockin' Fresh. Was the man himself. So
Freedom Fresh.
Put some respect on his name. But let's get to a standard show for y'all. It means I need to spit some lyrics. I did TV off lyrics the last time, y'all. I did some Kendrick lyrics, but now I'm gonna take you back to 1998. Black Star, Most Def and Talib Kweli are Black Star, and these are the lyrics from the song Redefinition.
Black Star.
I don't know if it works like that, but I hear you. Lyrically handsome, call collect the king's ransom. Jams are right, soon become the ghetto anthem. Way out like Bruce Wayne's mansion, move like a phantom. You talk about me to your grandsons. Cats who claim they hard be mad, so I run through them like floodwaters through sandbags. Competition is mad, what I got they can't have. Sinking they ship like Moby Dick to Ahab. Son, I'm way past the minimum. Entering millennium, my raps will hold a gap to your back like Palestinians, ancient Abyssinians, sure to hold the Gideon, official b-boy gentleman, long term, never the interim. Born inside the winter wind, day after December 10th. These simpletons they mention in they synonyms for feminine, sweeter than some cinnamon. The Danish rings by intimates. Rush up on adrenaline, they get their asses sent to them. Gentlemen, you got a tenement, well then assemble it. Leave your units trembling like herds of moving elephants. Intelligent embellishment, follow to your element from flatbush settlement. Skin possesses melanin, hotter than tails of crack peddling. Making them whoop like blue gelatin, swing like Duke Ellington, broader than Barrington Levy. Believe me, the hot Apache Red who burned down the chief TP. You see me? 1, 2, 3, Most Def and Talib Kweli. We came to rock it on to the tip top. Best alliance in hip hop. Why oh. Keeps going from there. Hey, welcome to it. It's episode 565, and we cannot replace your naturalization certificate. I'm your host, Entertainer 713, joined by the other host, the eBay Emperor, Lunchbox 2099.
You just witnessed me eat some fiber gummies.
They're good for you.
I'm gonna poop.
Hopefully, that is always the goal.
That is true. Hopefully, like I got my new re-up on my peptides yesterday, so that's why the fiber gummies are extra important.
Fair. I didn't know if you had to because I know you were saying you were about to take a break from it for a little bit. I didn't know if break time it began.
I took a break from one and moved to something else.
Okay.
And then part of why I was down last week is because I've been kind of started taking like the new version of the shit I was taking, and it kind of like put me on my ass. It's like it drained all my energy. I mean, I guess it was working, but I was very tired for a couple days.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
hopefully it works out in the long run.
how you been feeling about as this journey has journeyed?
Oh, it's a fascinating thing learning about this world.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm at the point where like I have no problem injecting myself.
Yeah.
Because it was like when I was a kid, it took me forever to be able to swallow pills. Because like I would think about it, like I would think about like choking. I just couldn't get over just the put it in and suck it, like drink it down with water thing.
Yeah.
So they used to try to hide it in peanut butter, and I would eat the peanut butter and not the pill, or like a slice of cheese, you know.
You're like a dog.
Yeah, they would treat me like a dog, like literally, like so I couldn't swallow pills, and the one kid that we had living with us, like he was younger than me, and he was able to swallow pills, and I was like, well, fuck, man, if he could do it, I could do it. And I kind of like shamed myself into learning to do it based on that. I'm like, true story. I'm not making that up.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I first started like doing the injections, I'd go over to my dad's house, and my stepmom was injecting me, like, you know, just not like on my stomach or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But the stuff that I kind of like rotated to after I took a break from the one peptide, I had to like, it was like a daily thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to kind of like learn to do it myself. So, and I had never really like injected myself with anything up to this point in my life. All my needle experience came from getting shots at like a doctor's office or something. Like once or twice I did the little finger meter blood reader thing for like your blood glucose levels.
Yeah, yeah.
I only did that a couple times. So like even that, like that at this point hurts more than what I do with an actual fucking insulin needle. Because I've gotten used to like the whole rhythm of it all. Like,
yeah.
I don't just like jab myself with it. I kind of like move it around, and I try and find a spot where like with just a little bit of pressure, it just kind of goes in by itself.
Yeah.
So I've gotten used to it now, and like I know what to expect, and it doesn't hurt. So it's like now it's just fucking cake. I actually have my first like personal order coming. Like I got the tracking the other day, and I checked today, and it's actually like a certain delivery service is in possession of my materials. They're on their way. So that, you know, I'm looking forward to learning how to like mix them myself and everything. Like I have the idea, and like I know what to do per se.
Yeah.
But like I've never done it myself, so it like that's kind of like the last step at this point is just learning how to like mix them myself and like getting some experience with that, and then, you know, doing the math on how much to pull out of the vial for each like time that you use it.
Yeah.
But like once that's down, like I've fucking got this.
Fuck with it. What's the scale telling you? I don't know if you're going for scale victories yet, but
I haven't weighed in a while.
Okay. Do you feel otherwise okay though? Like, okay, I feel like this is doing some things.
Yeah, I mean, outside of being like sleepy this last week, you know, I feel pretty good. Like, I feel like I'm healing better. Like, because that's part of like what I've been taking is kind of like in the HGH family.
Yeah.
The one that I'd shifted to off of like the ingredient that's in like Ozempic. The one I'd shifted to for a while. It's funny, they give it to HIV patients to help remove visceral fat from around your belly area.
Yeah.
And like we mixed it with like a HGH type of peptide for like extra like metabolic loss. And so that's what I was doing for a couple weeks. And then I started taking one that works as an appetite suppressant.
Yeah.
Mixed like along with what's like going to be Ozempic in 2 years. Like the new one that's like not FDA approved.
Yeah.
That like does 3 things, whereas like the Ozempic ingredient only does 2. So it's like the next level. But it's like appetite suppression isn't as good as like the Ozempic ingredient. So you use this other one along with it to kind of get the best of both worlds. Well, you know, a better world than if you did the other one.
Yeah.
You know, so that one is like a once a week thing for me right now. That's like where I go to my stepdad's and I mean not my dad's, but my stepmom.
Yeah.
And then she gives me like the take home of the other ones for now.
Okay. Well, there you go. I mean, y'all still plotting, scheming. It seems everybody's doing it. How's she doing? She doing well with her journey?
Oh, she's ecstatic. Like
Good.
she's like down like 50 some pounds, and she's the happiest she's been in fucking forever.
I love that for her.
And like she enjoys talking about this with me. Like it's been kind of like Lana was over there last night. She was like outwardly happy, and she's just like, I just love this so much. And it's been like a bonding thing for the two of us because like we text each other videos and talk about it and stuff.
Love it. That's super dope. I dig it. I mean, you know, not to whatever, but have you talked to your mom? At last check, it has been a while. Nope. Fair enough.
It's funny because my stepmom literally asked me the same thing last night. She's like, "How's your mom?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Fair. We'll leave it right there. I don't know what to do with that other than that. So there you go. A couple news stories. Some other assholes. It'll be a lovely situation. Let me jump into it. I don't feel like reading this whole story. I just want to. In fact, I'm not gonna read it. It'll be in the show notes. It's upsetting to me. But of course, this is just what this state wants to do now. Ohio Republicans claim voters didn't know what they were voting for when legalizing weed. They just called us dumb to our face.
You know what's funny about that whole thing?
Yeah.
My one buddy called his fucking rep yesterday and got a call back today from the office. But when he told us that he called yesterday, because he's so mad about like them trying to fuck with the weed laws in Ohio.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you better be careful who you tell this to that you called about like weed, because I'm like, they're gonna turn into like, oh, you'll call about weed, but you won't call about abortion or something like that. I'm like, there's gonna be those people that are gonna hate on you for not calling on the topics that they think you should call on.
You when reaching out to your representation, you call with the things that matter to you, and this matters to this person. Fuck it, I'm down for it now.
I don't like.
I know you don't care.
I'm saying
others
I was letting him know that there's gonna be those people that like if you say you like pancakes, they're gonna be like, oh, but you don't like waffles.
Exactly what it is. It's like that's a whole new sentence. I'll get you a little bit of this. Ohio Senate Republican. Oh, excuse me. Let me show love to Morgan Trial. This is from the Ohio Capitol Journal. Morgan Trial on the byline. Ohio Senate Republicans have voted to change the recreational marijuana policy that voters enshrined into law in 2023. Amidst protests from cannabis enthusiasts, GOP leaders continue to argue that voters didn't actually know what they were voting for during the election. From discovering medical cannabis while dealing with polycystic ovarian syndrome to helping collect signatures for legalizing recreational, Tasha Roundtree has been fighting on the front lines for the product. Just having someone to help me get up and get me moving, Roundtree said, noting other benefits of cannabis like how it eases her anxiety. This is why she's extremely disappointed in state lawmakers. Since Ohioans overwhelmingly voted to allow for adult use cannabis in 2023, legislators have been trying to change the law. We feel lied to, we feel bamboozled, we feel infiltrated in our community, she said. Republicans in the Senate have now passed Ohio Bill 56, which would decrease the THC content allowed in the products and limit homegrown from 12 plants to 6, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. I know this is what they've given you, but it's a whole bunch of other stuff they did to this law. They changed the way it's taxed. In fact, they're going to raise the taxes on it. These are supposed to be the people that are against taxation. They're changing how the taxes are therefore already handed out. You remember the way the law is written, the taxes are handed out to take care of communities, to help police be able to take care of crimes, but also help people who might be on drugs get their shit together. Like this, the money was being used for good causes, if you will. And now they're like, we just gonna put it in the general fund and basically spend your money how the fuck we want to. Ooh. THC, the psychoactive cannabinoid, which will be capped at the bill at 100 milligrams per package, is also primarily reduces the allowable THC levels in adult use extracts from a max of 90% to 70%. We got the dankest weed in Ohio, and they are ruining it now. But it's just upsetting, y'all. And They're doing this just to be. I was just talking to Vanessa about a little bit ago. It is this party seems to be a party of cruelty and unnecessary cruelty at that. The laws and rules they are writing as of late seem to be just to make sure we hurt people. They are writing bills that say we're not to not house the homeless, and in fact make it illegal to be homeless. They are making it so you can't get Medicaid. They're making it so the veterans can't get dental care without it having been something that happened to their teeth while in battle. They're making it so they're trying to cut Social Security. They are about to cut taxes for the wealthy, but raise the taxes on you and I. It is a sense of abject cruelty that this party is working under right now, and I'm like, and I know the people who voted for that man did not vote for this. Now, I'm not gonna lie, they probably did vote to shit all over trans people, which continues forth unabated. But I don't think they voted that they was gonna take Meemaw's fucking Medicaid. But that is what's happening, and it's fucking garbage. And we need to really take a look at what we are doing to this country right now, y'all. But in this situation, we voted yes on weed in this state and said hell yeah, and the way this law is written is hell yeah, and then they just tell us no, you didn't. And it's fucking horseshit. The whole story will be in your show notes if you want to click on and read through it. But man, is that upsetting to me. And I would call my representative, but I know how they voted, and they vote on the good side of this deal, so I don't have to call them. Fucking assholes. Box and I did talk about this on the original 565, and in the 2 weeks since then, things happened. So this is from Sports Business Journal. Tom Friend on the byline. Cleveland likely to get next WNBA franchise in 2028. The WNBA is preparing to award Cleveland its 16th franchise. Multiple sources have told SBJ with an approximate bid worth a league record $250 million. The sources put Cleveland's expansion chances at as high as 90%, with an announcement expected no later than March, and said the WNBA has rethought its original plan of adding just one more team and could award one or two more franchises to bring its league total to 18 clubs. The presumed leaders for the second and third teams are Philadelphia, Houston, Nashville, Detroit, and Miami, with the league reiterating tonight that nothing is finalized. The WNBA has received formal bids from many interested ownership groups in various markets, and we are currently in the process of evaluating these proposals, a WNBA spokesperson said in a statement. It's over here so I can look at the dang camera. I'll be editing this video and looking at myself look over here, and I'm like, that looks dumb. Get over here, square up. Cleveland is expected to join the league for the 2028 season, playing at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, which is no longer called that. Now it's just called Rocket Arena, I believe. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Very good. They will be...
This fucking arena suffers from an identity crisis.
They will be reprised as the Cleveland Rockers. I don't like that. I wish we would have came with something new, but whatever. An original WNBA franchise that folded after the 2003 season when former owner Gordon Gunn could not sell the team due to tumbling revenue and erratic attendance. But in the 2 decades since, the league's exponential growth and popularity has led to rising expansion fees. The Golden State Valkyries, the league's 13th franchise, launching in May, paid $50 million to join the WNBA, while Toronto and Portland, the 14th and 15th franchises, paid $115 and $125 million respectively. Now that has doubled. As recent as 2 weeks ago, the WNBA applied to trademark the name Rockers, as well as the names of 3 other former franchises, the Houston Comets, the Detroit Shock, the Miami Soul, and the Charlotte Sting, all clues to who could be in the running for the 17th and 18th teams, but not a complete giveaway. Sources said Houston is probably the most positioned for the 17th team, largely because the Rockets recently built a 75,000 square foot practice facility. Owner Tillman Fertitta, man, how do you Fertitta? I'm gonna go with Fertitta. Fertitta is reportedly worth more than $10 billion, and they have an NBA infrastructure that is appealing to the league. The Comets are also an amazing brand, and it's stunning that even they even left the league, said a source referencing the 4-time champion Comets folding in 2008 due to $4 million annual losses. Philadelphia is likely another clear front-runner, sources said, and indications are that when the 76ers owner Josh Harris partnered with Comcast for a new arena in South Philadelphia, The priority was to house a WNBA team along with the Sixers and the Flyers. Mind you, that deal in Philadelphia for a new stadium for the 76ers fell through because they were trying to build in Chinatown, and people in that neighborhood was like, "We don't want your stadium here, and your team is whack and ain't worth us building a new stadium for." Similar to a town, like ours and our football organization. But whatever. Steve Greenberg, the managing director of Allen & Co., which is overseeing the expansion process on behalf of the WNBA, has declined commenting on all bidding. But sources said the bids are ranged from $200 to $250 million, and the Cavaliers likely won the 16th franchise with their high $250 million proposal. Their NBA infrastructure and the burgeoning facilities. Owner Dan Gilbert said the Cavaliers, who declined comment, are constructing the Cleveland Clinic Global Peak Performance Center, which will be the centerpiece of Gilbert and Bedrock's $3.5 billion Cuyahoga Riverfront Master Plan. The NBA Cavaliers, the MNBA Cavaliers would operate out of that facility, while the Rockets would move into the Cavaliers' current state-of-the-art training center in Independence, Ohio, complete with 2 practice courts, a team theater, and a weight room in a remote wooded setting. Gilbert, who reportedly has poured over $1 billion into Cleveland sports and entertainment ecosystem since purchasing the Cavaliers in 2005, would also continue to upgrade the new Rockers facility. There's a little more to it than that, but again, that is in your show notes, and I'll tell you to go check that out. But yeah, man, I'm down for the get down with us having a WNBA squad. I don't like the Rockers name, and I didn't like our branding, but maybe we come through with some dope new shit that kind of leans. Because I've seen some people do some mock-ups. I'm like, I can see that kind of works. Then maybe we can get something popping and that I can get behind. But it ain't really about me. It's about whoever else wants to get down. And then what I laugh about is people saying, "How can we get Caden Clark to Cleveland?" I'm like, I hear you. So 2028, people. Let's see what we got popping here. I feel like if we could pull that WNBA team, we'll get another look for that women's soccer team. Because of like, all right, look, they out here supporting, women's sports like this in that town with money and, backing and so forth, and facilities and the like, maybe there's somebody to look at. You know what I'm saying? I hope that is the case. So we'll see how it all plays out, but respect due to it. That was your news for the week. I hand the reins of the show over to Box and see what he wants to talk about this week. And look, he has a whole intro.
I hope it's like the Wonder Years where like you got me like playing in the front yard by a white picket fence, and then like me looking lovingly into like my crush's eyes as I kiss for the first time, and then all of a sudden I'm getting on a boat to war. And then,
I thought it would involve books in some way, story time, but damn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess reading Rainbow works too.
Now, the reality of it is Box just basically gave us a story time lunchbox here earlier in the show. But if there's something you have done in this time away that you care to share with the listeners, you can. And if not, that's a sweet intro I made for him for use for such matters. Don't worry about it.
Well, I mean, I did give you a large portion of what I've done the last couple weeks. I mostly like watched a lot of TV. I had like a 4-day weekend for like Valentine's Day weekend. Because like, no one on my team took that Friday, so I was like, well, fuck it, I'll take it. So, I'm not kidding when I say I watched so much TV that weekend that like our entertainment section for this show is going to be quite extensive.
I love it.
Yeah, I watched full seasons in whole days. We'll say that. Yeah, so like I've been watching the Cavs. I played Call of Duty last night for like an hour and a half or 2 hours for the first time since like last Thursday. Because a couple of my friends I usually play with were out of town.
Yeah. And
so I just kind of took a break.
Anybody amongst y'all use the Ninja Turtles? Did somebody go out the pocket and pay the fare for the Ninja Turtles?
So, I know that like, Tommy got, he got Donatello.
Okay.
Jack got Michelangelo.
Okay.
And I got Raphael. I don't know how they acquired them.
Okay.
I already had the points on my account, so I like didn't have to spend any extra money because I think I had the points from when I bought the battle passes. Because I haven't been buying rando shit, so the points have just been building up. So like I was able to just redeem it with what I had. So no extra money was given for my Ninja Turtle.
I don't play Call of Duty Warzone, but I'm aware. I keep aware of Warzone in these streets. I'm a Fortnite guy, and oddly enough, they added Cowboy Bebop yesterday, or recently. I saw it yesterday, and was like, "Fuck yeah, Cowboy Bebop!" So I might pull the trigger on some of those.
I haven't actually played Warzone in months. I've been playing. I've been since the BO6 came out.
Yeah,
I've only been playing multiplayer.
Standard, like deathmatch, team deathmatch. Word, okay.
I mean, like deathmatch, hardpoint.
But those things, and not Warzone.
Yeah. I have not played Warzone since maybe August.
Yeah, nice. I used to love.
Actually, no. It probably would have been right around like right before my birthday. It's probably like right when I last played Warzone.
I mean, that's really close to August, so it's not like you was lying.
I know, but like in my mind, like I mean that's a whole other month. But like when I go back and think about it, yeah, like because I went to Vegas, then I went to Wisconsin, and then like shortly after I came back, BO6 came out.
Yeah.
And I ended up I wasn't even gonna buy the fucking game. I was just gonna keep playing free Warzone, being miserable. And then they talked me into it, and I ended up liking multiplayer more than I like Warzone. And now I haven't been back on Warzone since in fucking 5 months. It was funny because the one guy that I play Warzone with all the time, I was on like one like Friday evening playing multiplayer with like 5 other people.
Yeah.
Like we legitimately had a group of like 6 people. And he like DMs me on Facebook and he's like, "Hey, you want to play ranked with me and this other guy?" And like it was one of those situations where like I pulled the taskbar down on my phone and I saw the message and then I cleared it without opening it. Because I'm like, sorry, guy. No, thanks.
Sorry,
I'll pretend like I didn't see this right now. I'll give you the no later.
It's not the streets I'm running anymore, partner. I'm over here. But hey, I get it. It's like,
well, I mean, the original Warzone map Verdansk that came out when COVID happened.
Yeah,
it's allegedly like it's coming back, but they haven't officially announced a release date. But the speculation is that it's gonna be like March 20th. So it's like the nostalgia is going to be dropping in a couple of weeks, and I will be back on that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not like it was when it went away the first time, where it was just full of cheaters and whatnot. Like I'd like to enjoy playing on that again because like I had like a Call of Duty game on Xbox 360 back in the day.
Your mic just tried to be weird, real fuzzy. I don't know what happened. Did you touch it or move it?
I was playing with the cord. That's probably
okay.
I had like one of the ones on 360. I don't know if it was like Modern Warfare 2 or something like that. But I played the story mode pretty much only. And so like Warzone was my first foray into like online Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And so it's and it was at a time where like I was massively depressed, stuck at home by myself for months. And it was like the only real escape I had, like to like do anything with people in the outside world for a while during that time.
Yeah.
And I also met some people, playing that game that like, now I consider friends and, like I have met in real life. And so like this map coming back will be like, kind of like a fun way to kind of relive those memories again.
Yeah.
But, it's the hard thing about nostalgia is like, it's not always the same when you get it back the second time. So, hopefully it doesn't ruin what was like the memory of what was. It's like watching a cartoon when you were a kid with adult eyes and like, you still love it and everything, but it's just like, damn, if I had to watch this now for the first time, I don't think I would love it like I did when I was a kid.
Time a motherfucker, man. That's true. It will take and give and take. So entertainment just kind of gets moved to now, y'all. Worry not. It's cool. It's better here anyway. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're slashing the budget, just like the Doge.
I jumped on Fortnite the other night. What did I finish? That made me go for Fortnite. Okay, went back to Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 5. Finished Spider-Man. Wasn't actually done until my liking because I like to platinum those games. They're relatively easy to platinum, which is basically getting 1,000 points on Xbox, if you will. Getting all the achievements. But then I was like, ooh, let me take a break. Let me play some Fortnite. Play Fortnite. Got a victory royale to my liking. I was like, yo, check me out. I did that. Right after beating that game and then getting the victory royale, I was like, okay, I'll take that. But I love fucking around in Fortnite. I play Fortnite so different than like I watch people play Fortnite. It's like my whole methodology of Fortnite is run around, collect the best guns, and hide. Sometimes I'll fight if I got to. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes it is what it is. But oftentimes I'm just playing hide and seek where everybody else is out there killing each other. And I'm just laughing as I watch people die off. And usually I'll finish a Fortnite match with like a kill, and that's usually the last kill. Like I'm saying, and I'll just chuckle about it. But then I'm fucking around with it last night, and I'm like, I was getting maniacally bad. I was murdering people. Last night was like I picked up the right gun, and I was just out here just catching bees on fools, and I was like, we out here tonight. And then it's me versus somebody else, and we're both Wonder Woman. And I'm thinking I won. I was like, fuck yeah. And I'm like, no, it's you came in second. Like, fuck, other Wonder Woman won. I was so mad because it's both just Wonder Women fighting each other. Like some house shit. But I had to just drop the sticks and it's like, it's cool. It's cool. I play that on Xbox still. I'm weird about, you sure I can play it on PlayStation, but I play most of my games on Xbox. I play Sony exclusives on PlayStation. I play Nintendo exclusives on Nintendo, and I mix with some other stuff. But I'm that's how I get down. But nearly everything I play is Xbox. I play it on Xbox. I have loved those. I love that controller. I have played Xbox since the original, Xbox, and so I just had got down with that since. And that's just like it's my system for third-party games and whatever Xbox throws at me. And what they threw at me the other day was the game I talked to you about before. Balatro is now on Game Pass. So of course I own game. I have it as a part of basically the Game Pass on the iPhone, which is called Apple Arcade Plus. I have it on the Switch. I bought the cartridge, like hard copy on the Switch, and now I got it on Xbox. And imagine a roguelike. And if you know what that means, you know what that means. But basically, you're playing poker, but you get basically jokers that give you multipliers. And so you set your jokers up right, set them left to right, because that's how they'll trigger. So if you got the right little, the right multiplier going, you can make the math work out for you. But like I said, it's free. Not free. It's a part of my subscription, but it is a part of the subscription on Xbox Game Pass now. So if you have Game Pass, you can play Balatro, the game I've told you about multiple times now, and get down. It's amazing. It's a play anywhere title. So you can play it on PC, you can play it on your phone on cloud, and you can play it on the Xbox. And I was playing on the Xbox, just sitting there, just grooving. Let's do a podcast playing Balatro. Balatro's soundtrack is the grooviest little lo-fi joint you ever want to hear. And I'm telling you, man, it's a great, great game, and I highly, highly, highly recommend getting down with Balatro. Like I said, free if you have Apple Arcade Plus, free on Game Pass now. I think it's like $10 if you want to buy it on anything else. So it's not even too pricey a game, but highly recommend. Spider-Man 2 was amazing. I was really happy by the way it ended, and I did go back and get the platinum on that. I platinumed that maybe 2 nights ago. I was super close. I just had to play cleanup on some stuff and use a power up 25 times that I'd already used a dozen. Finish off this mission for fighting Mysterio, so I get all the suits. What else did I have left? Like I said, basically it was mostly just use all the powers, collect all the suits. Collect all the spider bots. There are spider bots all around town. There are 42 of them, so I had to collect all those and just close out different missions around town. The town being New York, Manhattan, and some of Brooklyn, and some of Queens. So, because it's a really, really, really big map. That game is really great. So I really had a good time doing that. And yeah, so that's what I've been in the realm of gaming. I am watching. Did I talk about Severance? Do you recall last time?
I believe you did.
All right. So I had watched the first episode of Severance months ago, and didn't know if it spoke to me. But everybody named Mama has been talking about Severance season 2 and how good it is, and I'm like, I kind of was okay with that first episode. Let me watch the first season of Severance. And like Bach said, watching shows just in a setting. I started watching that show. I think I think Vanessa was working, so I want to say I started it on Valentine's Day after she went to bed because she had to work the next morning. And I watched all of it between Friday evening going into Saturday. So I believe it's 9 episodes total. And then I started season 2, and now I'm current with season 2 of that show, which fucking sucks because I want more of it, but I'm current, so I have to do it week to week now. But yeah, Severance on Apple TV Plus it's everything that you thought if you've been hearing good things about it, it is that. It is a sci-fi mystery box kind of show that I don't even want to tell you too much about, but Adam Scott, who most people know from Parks and Rec, is the star of that show. My man Zach Cherry, who listeners of this show would know, I know from as being the host of the Great American Baking Show, one of the hosts of the Great American Baking Show, but he's also an actor and he's been in everywhere. If you remember in Spider-Man, he was like, "Do a flip, Spider-Man." That guy, and then he ended up being in Shang-Chi on the bus, and I don't know what he said up to Shang-Chi, but it was something similar to that. But yeah, Zach Cherry's great, man, real funny guy, one of the best Doughboys guests, y'all. If you ever listen to and or watch Doughboys.
Oh, isn't that the guy that was in Crashing?
I don't know. I'm gonna pull you up a quick picture of Zach Cherry. You can tell.
He's like the short, chubby guy with the short curly beard.
You know, ish. Share screen, entire screen. This brother?
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, what's Crashing?
Crashing was that show on HBO. The comedian, the white guy. Yeah, that.
Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes. Yeah, he was like Pete Holmes' agent in that show or something.
Huh. Comedy drama series. Pete Holmes, Judd Apatow, first season HBO, 2017. Ran a total of 370. Stand up after his wife cheats on him, leaving him homeless. Man. Okay. Well, Crashing. I was unaware. Maybe I'll see if that's available to be viewed on a Max, because on Max it'll be like, yeah, we own it, but it ain't on this channel. But yeah, that's the Zach Cherry, man. Good dude, funny dude, and he's one of the stars of Severance, and that show. It was a really great first season, and this second season has been is something amazing. And I'm glad they got one extra episode, so it'll be 10 episodes, and they just episode 7 will come out tomorrow, and from when we record this. So that is I'm really we're in the final the tail end of that series. What If season 3? I'm not quite done with it. I think we got a couple episodes left, but I've been enjoying that. I don't know if you get down with What If, but if you do, that's over on Disney Plus, and just they're fun to watch. They're fun little. They remind me of a lot of the What If comics. Just little, little guidance, little side stories about your favorite comic heroes, and one of them ended up being the Winter Soldier hanging out with the Red Guardian. And I just think that was hilarious because, of course, that's kind of leans toward Thunderbolts because that's what's going to happen in that show. Speaking of Marvel, Vanessa and I went to go see Captain America: Brave New World last week at of course, the fantastic Phoenix Theaters at North Olmsted. And I really enjoyed it, but that's because I at this point, I take Marvel movies for what they are. I don't go into them thinking they're going to be in-game because I know I can't have that another time. I go into them thinking it's a comic book movie, and I always have just that kind of time with them. Like, it's a good time. I had a whole lot of fun. It's a a B plus movie, not the greatest, not the worst or anything like that. They're like I said, the all Marvel movies to me are usually pretty fun, with the lone exceptions being the dog shit that is Thor: The Dark World. It's one of the worst movies ever, and like the first Thor is kind of down, is on the lower tier for me, but not as bad as Thor. Thor: The Dark World is execrable. It's a bad movie to me, but it's where you get introduced to the shit. What is that? That's the Reality Stone, right? The juice one, the red one.
Yeah, the weird one.
Yeah. So that's what you need that movie for. It's one of the Infinity Stones gets introduced in it, and that's what that one does. But like people really super duper hate the Eternals, but the Eternals become useful in Captain America: Brave New World because finally they like, we got to do something about this big thing in the Indian Ocean that we made in the Eternals. How are we gonna put this back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And what they end up doing. Have you seen Brave New World, or you even care to see it?
I have not seen it yet.
Are you okay with me spoiling something, or are you just?
Yeah, if I could go for it.
I think you'll be fine with the spoiler, and that is what they end up saying is, guess what? On that big celestial that's hanging out in the middle of the Indian Ocean that came up in the Eternals, that's the source of the MCU's adamantium going forward. And I was like, sick. That's how we introduced adamantium as a concept to the MCU. We already kind of got mutants with Deadpool, Wolverine, and so we're pointing in the right direction of things. I'm like, okay, dig. So I thought that was pretty neat and a cool concept. And like I said, I had fun with that movie. I know that they had to do a lot of editing to that movie because the way they were going to have the bad guy set up, the way they were going to have one of the characters set up was going to be, she was going to be like basically, imagine if you will, isn't it an Israeli superhero? But then, Israel became, started doing what Israel did in this war with Palestine. They was like, and so they was like, nah, we'll hack around that. So then, like, the bad guy is of course from another MCU movie that you would have to remember, and lots of people are definitely not going to remember that. So I had to laugh at that. Of course, one of the actors died, so they replaced one of those actors. So of course that becomes a thing. So there's lots of things about this movie that can make it like, I can see why people be like, I'm not feeling like, critics don't like this movie, but audiences, if you were to go look at Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic and stuff like that, the audience score is relatively, like I said, about a B plus. That's exactly what it is. It's a fine movie. If you want to wait till it comes on Disney Plus, I'm not telling you that it's a problem. But if you're like me, living near a theater that happens to have Dolby Atmos and you can really rock out with your cock out, I would say go see it in the theater if you enjoy cinematic experiences like that. Because
I was considering seeing it like the weekend it came out.
Yeah.
And then we had like a big ass snowstorm on the day I was gonna go see it, and I was like, I'm good. I'm not traversing the snow to go see this.
Facts. And I would not recommend. Not worth a snowstorm. But you got a minute, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, that theater is like, is what I love about a theater is it's dirt cheap. They have matinees $8 there, you know what I'm saying? And their seats are heated and recline all the way back, and they have Dolby Atmos in all their theaters, so it has some of the highest quality sound you'll hear in the region. And it's just a good time to be had. I love that theater. And Twizzlers is wild fresh. Some of the freshest Twizzlers in the area. I don't know what's going on with they Twizzlers, but they got a tasty Twizzler situation going on there. If you are a Coke fan, I'm sorry, that's a Pepsi theater. But if you're anything like me, you just cut across to the bodega that's in that mall and go get a soda for your lady, put it in your pouch pocket, and come back to the theater with it and keep moving. So you can just make Coca-Cola happen for you if you need to. You shouldn't be, because fuck them, but you know what I'm saying? So Coke, of course, like a lot of companies, roll back their DEI initiatives. And but not only did they roll back their DEI initiatives, they fired a bunch of workers at a bottling plant down in Texas and then called ICE on them. Fuck them and fuck them hard. So we don't bang with Coke in this set anymore at my house. Pepsi, of course, today announced they're rolling back their DEI plans, but I don't think they called ICE on anybody. So I'm going to give them a little bit of grace, but not a lot. What I want people to tell me is, what do you think DEI means? Because I know what they think it means, Because as always, we know what they thought woke meant, and we know what they think a lot of things mean. But I want them to tell me what they think it means. Because I got the feeling they don't actually know what it means. But here we stand, people. Brave New World. I told you I started that show on the BritBox called Avoidance. I ended up watching both seasons of that. It ended up being great. It wrapped well enough that I was okay that it didn't get a third season. I was like, that's a clean break right there. 12 episodes total. If you don't have BritBox, they give you free 7 days. You can watch 12 episodes of a show in 7 days, y'all. Well worth it. And if you want to know if it's worth it, if you already have Amazon Prime, the first episode is up on Amazon Prime. Go check it out. Avoidance. Great show. That's what I've been watching. Reading. What I want to tell you to read, and it'll be in your notes. I don't read much that'll make your boy cry, but this one got me square in the gills. Love Abby. UConn Huskies forever bond with one magical fan. And I want to click the go on this, and I want to tell you who wrote it. But again, it will be in your show notes. It is just the most wonderfully written article and about a wonderful person. Why did you not just open when I clicked you? There we go. Sam Borden over at ESPN wrote this piece. It's pretty long. It's not a short read, which is why I'm adding it to things that I would tell you to read this week. And it talks about a young lady who became a fan of the UConn Huskies, or was a fan of the UConn Huskies, and the Huskies became a fan of her. Unfortunately, she got sick and has since passed away. But it was a really compelling piece of writing about the team's relationship with this child and her family. And I don't know. It really had me worked up, y'all, and crying a great deal, because of course it's super sad that a child has passed, but it was also interesting hearing from these young women who were a part of her life, the last years of her life, as they play the sport, and how it relates to sport. So, a real wonderful piece of writing, and I would highly recommend you read it. Like I said, it'll be in your show notes. I'll just throw it under it. You scroll to the bottom of your screen, right there. You'll have several links to the news stories I talked to you about, the Emma the Assholes, and of course this news story. And listening to, I can reach back and grab. Actually, I'm gonna grab this whole pile. Give me a. All right. So let's rattle through some records here, y'all. You can probably see where I'm going. Minus out this screen so I can see my own self. This is, of course, Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. Of course, I own that. This, of course, To Pimp a Butterfly. God, such a good album. This is Damn, the Pulitzer Prize winning Damn. I need you to know, Pulitzer Prize winning album here, okay? How that man thought he could out-rap a Pulitzer Prize winner will never be whatever. Damn has a little specialness to it. Damn is an album that you can listen to front to back and back to front. And so he released a special edition of it that goes back to front. So I own that one too. This is a real limited pressing, I guess. Apparently worth some money. There's multiple times I've learned recently that I have albums that are worth a couple of bucks that I'm like, get out of here. It's untitled, unmastered. Basically, some leftovers from Damn that didn't quite make the album, and so they're all literally untitled. And it's actually a solid listen. That's the Black Panther soundtrack. Kendrick Lamar did all the work on that soundtrack, and it's on just about every song. And so, yeah, it's only a couple of songs that he is not on. Great album. It's, of course, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, which is an album he released a couple years ago, and it's a hard listen. This is an album where Kendrick is coming to terms with himself about the man that he is and how he gets there in the life that he's led. It's a real tough listen. because it's not really a boppy album. It's oddly enough, it's a real sincere and serious album, and a lot of good and interesting stories. And highly recommend. And again, once again, Drake tried to talk crazy about him, tried to say, thought he knew what Kendrick was saying, and did not know what Kendrick was saying on that album. And it's very funny. But then I went the other day to I went to a couple of record stores actually, but I ended up getting going to one that's over there now that used to be in Bedford, but is now closer to Dan. It is the Vinyl Groove, which is now remember you know where the new Sheets is at?
Yeah.
Corner or whatever. So right there at what is about to be a dispensary now, what used to be a record store. On the back side of that building is a couple of shops. There's a head shop back there. It used to be an arcade back there. I don't know what that.
Oh yeah, you're talking about like where it used to be Coconuts.
Yes. Well, back on the back side of that, like I said, there's a couple of stores back there, and one of them is the Vinyl Groove, moved from Bedford to over there. So I go to the Vinyl Groove. It's my last shop stop that day. I called them and said, "Hey, do you have this record?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I'll put your copy to the side." And so they had a copy of Kendrick's latest record, GNX. This is the one he did a lot of performances of from the Super Bowl. But it's let me get a little closer there. As you can see, that is the indie exclusive blue vinyl, because this bad boy comes on what I truly think is absolutely gorgeous Dodger blue vinyl. And it's it's a great album. So it's a real solid pressing, sounds real good, but I love the way it looks. And that is the entirety of the Kendrick Lamar collection that is on official vinyl. You can get bootlegs and stuff, and there are people who do have bootlegs and so forth. It's not for your boy. I have 3 bootlegs. One is a bootleg 45 of a couple of songs Childish Gambino dropped some summers back. The summer I went to Pokemon Go Fest, so I don't know whatever that was. He dropped a couple of songs that summer, and somebody made a 45 pressing of that sounds fantastic. I have a pressing of Kanye West's Yeezus that I got from Canada. Sounds like absolute ass. And I had a pressing of Chance the Rapper's Acid Rap on bootleg vinyl that I got from Europe. That it didn't sound bad, but it looked like shit. Like had bubbles and bumps and so forth in the vinyl itself. But they ended up making an official repress of the official version of that, so I got an official version of that one. So I don't really care about the bootleg. I think I ended up selling because I didn't need it. But that is all that has entertained me this week. Box, tell me what shows. You said you watched all these shows. What have you been getting down with?
So I was a couple episodes behind on Found on Peacock. I was a couple episodes behind on The Irrational on Peacock.
I don't know that one.
So The Irrational's like dude's a behavioral science professor, and his ex-wife's like an FBI agent, and he helps like solve cases and stuff.
Okay.
So it's like The Irrational's based off of human irrational behavior or whatever.
Okay.
I watched the entirety of the second season of Goosebumps on Disney Plus.
Cool.
I did that in one night. I finished Cobra Kai.
How do you think that wrapped? I'm not a Cobra Kai fan, so I don't know how it is to begin with, but how do you think that closed out?
It definitely put the finality on some character storylines.
Okay.
In a way, like going all the way back to the original movies. So, like, if you're a fan of Karate Kid, I can't tell if you'll like it or not, but I would definitely say, like, if you want to see how, like, that movie would shake out 30 years after the fact, or shit, probably
near 40 at this point, yeah.
Yeah, then maybe give Cobra Kai a watch. And, like, if you don't care about, like, everything that kind of beforehand, then, like, maybe just skip to the end, but, like, the entire show is basically just a Johnny redemption story.
Okay.
And so he comes out pretty good. So I finished that. I watched, I'm now current on School Spirits on Paramount Plus.
I've been seeing ads for that. Like people talking about, hey, it's been a couple of years since we got back together, but once we got back on set, everything ever was.
Yeah, like the first season came out in like 2023.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, the second season started a couple weeks back. Like episode 7 just dropped today. Like I literally just watched it before we got on the podcast. So like I'm currently current. So
it's a show where people ghosts that went to that school are dead in the school. And what's the overall of that? I know the kind of, but how do we get the ghost in the school ghosts? What's going on with that?
Well, they like died there.
Okay.
So yeah, so like that Valentine's Day weekend, I literally watched 8 episodes of Goosebumps that were almost an hour each that I did in one night. I watched 3 episodes of Found, 3 episodes of Irrational. I watched 5 episodes of Cobra Kai. I watched 5 episodes of School Spirits, which are like almost an hour each.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of TV watching in 4 days. But I got through all that, and I've kind of stayed current for the most part. I think like I may be an episode behind on Irrational now if there was one this week or whatever, but I'll get to that at some point. I need to watch Invincible, like the new season started coming out, and so like I haven't watched that. I haven't started that yet. I saw Reacher just dropped on Amazon, so I need to watch that. I have not watched What If at all, the new season. Like I wasn't really like keen on it. The whole like I don't like the whole like thought like parallel universe thought exercise stuff. I like things just like story as they are, but I will admit like the show was well done when I did watch the first season. I watched this movie that had Channing Tatum in it, where it was called Blind something. It was on Amazon. Let me look it up real quick. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was Blink Twice. I knew it was gonna get kind of saucy because at the beginning of the movie, I got one of those warnings where it was like basically telling me that there was gonna be rape in the movie.
Oh Jesus!
And it was like one of those like warnings where it's like you can be triggered off this movie, kind of like watch at your own risk kind of things. So yeah, like that was like an hour and a half long movie. It's a thriller suspense. I'll give you some of the cast. It was directed by Zoe Kravitz, starring Channing Tatum. Naomi Ackie from like Star Wars was like the main character, Frida. Gina Davis had like a minor role in it. Christian Slater was in it. Haley Joel Osment, Simon Rex. Those are the only people's names on the cast list that I know. But is an interesting movie. Had a little bit of a twist ending of sorts. So like if you're into like a thriller, I wasn't bored or anything like that. I think that's it outside of like my usual NBA viewing and watching people play Call of Duty while I'm working.
What do you thought of the Cavaliers here post All-Star break?
I feel like the only teams that like could beat them at this point are like Oklahoma City and Boston.
Yeah. Got a little test with Boston tomorrow night as we record this, so I want to see what we do with our new guys. Green, that guy, last name Green, whose first name is not going to come to me. Who is that guy? How? What is he? Yeah, what is he to us?
He's a break glass in case of emergency guy.
He got a few minutes in last night, but the other night because of course we won by 40 points. So why not put a guy in? Let him get some points in. But
I mean, like he played for the Pelicans this year.
Yeah.
And he was like graded in like the 80th percentile in on-ball defense in the league or something. Like he's in like the upper tier of on-ball defenders. Mm-hmm. So he's really just like an emergency guy for defensive purposes.
Fair. What about Hunter? I've seen him a couple. I saw that Magic game. It was like, okay, I see my man out here doing this and with this.
he's playing well, but like the Cavs are weird in that like they play so many guys that like no one ever like outside of like the star guys.
Yeah.
Like they play well, and that's like about all you get because like they share minutes so much that like none of those guys like you have to really pop off. Like Ty Jerome is an example of someone on the Cavs who like isn't like a star, but like at times he'll just have this game where like you're like holy shit.
Yeah.
But like everyone else just comes in, kind of does what they're supposed to do, and then it's just like another night at the office.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of position he's been in at this point because the coach is sticking with Max Strus.
Yeah. He had a good night the other night as well, so he did pretty good the other night. So, there's this guy I watch. He'll basically as YouTuber reviewing, like I feel like he's reviewing the NBA YouTube's highlights of the games, but there's
a lot of channels that do that.
He has a soundboard so for Jerome. So whatever Jerome is going on.
Oh yeah,
it's like Jerome's in the house.
I watched that guy. Yeah, that's a dude out of Brooklyn.
Oh, the Brooklyn guy. Yeah. The Brooklyn.
Yeah, I show him love all the time by watching his videos. Because like he's been doing like every Cavs game and I find I like him compared to some of the other ones because I could tell he's an older guy from our generation.
Yes,
and so it's like his jokes and a lot of the stuff he says is relatable for me.
Yeah,
whereas some of the younger guys who do this like. I don't like some of the shit they do or say or whatever.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's my old head of the reaction video genre.
Yeah.
And like he does the Martin Jerome's in the house. Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth. And when we had Karis LeVert, he would play a LeVert song, which was pretty hilarious. So
yeah, the video he did the other day, he was playing like he was playing some groovy song for Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Like some old like 70s disco-y, type dance Soul Train type shit.
Oh yeah, Jared Allen got the fro, so of course that makes perfect sense. Yeah. So I dig that guy's work as well. So that's funny that we both watch him, but not really because
the YouTube algorithm will feed up people like if you're in certain areas because like his videos don't get like as many views as like some of the younger kids because they use like Twitch and shit.
Yeah.
Whereas he just does the reaction shit, but like yeah, I enjoy his shit.
Yeah, fun and funny guy, and I don't know, man. The Cavaliers have won as many games now as they did last year. We are still the number one team in the association. We have a game against the Celtics tomorrow night with, I guess you can call it the new look Cavs. Basically, we just got a couple of new players, one of which Mike just told you only comes out when we really need them. So I want to see what we do tomorrow night versus the Celtics, see if we get better than we did the last time we played them.
It's going to be hard to tell, too, because Garland still might not play. So
yeah, so we're actually
might not even be whole.
Yeah, down a hitter. So, but yet and still, I don't know. I love the squad. Of course I do. I love the city of Cleveland and therefore the teams that represent it well. The fact I found out the other day that Terry Francona went with the coach for the managed the Reds. Like, what the fuck, man? I thought you were retired. I thought you was out the game. This some bullshit.
Oh, dude, when they announced that shit a couple months back, I was like, what the fuck, man? I thought you were retired for medical reasons. What the fuck happened?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking traitors.
They do seem real traitorous, don't they?
Yeah, that's how I felt when like Urban Meyer retired from Ohio State for headaches and shit.
Yeah.
And then like a year later, he's like coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm like, I thought you were sick, motherfucker. It's like the Dave Chappelle special from the early 2000s when he was telling the Michael Jackson joke. And he's like talking about the kids and going to trial. And he's like, what happened? I thought you were dying. Every time I see you, you get stronger.
Bullshit. That's what that is, y'all. Oh my god. For a little tea time, pip cheerio. The third in the line of Vanessa's sisters. We celebrated her birthday the other night by going to this Indian spot over there in Dan's general neck of the woods called Honest. Honest Cleveland, I believe is what the name of the restaurant is. So over there. Was that York? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
in the old Friendlies.
Oh yeah, I know that place. It's like the vegan restaurant.
Indian foods, I guess. I don't think about it. I don't think I saw any meat on that menu. So yes.
Yeah, no, like I'm pretty sure their sign says they're like a vegan restaurant.
Well, vegetarian for sure, because it was a lot of cheese to be had and butter that night. So
yeah, vegetarian, vegan. In my mind, they're interchangeable. I know that's not the case, but you know.
I hear you. But we went there. That's where she wanted to go to kick it for her birthday, and we went to go there. And I want you. This is racial, not racist. How I knew that place was going to be good was that Indian people was in that motherfucker eating. And I mean, popping. There's a bunch of as always, I was the one black person in the restaurant. It happens very often, but it was a bunch of white folk in there kicking it, sure. But it was a bunch of people of the ilk who was in there eating that food. And man, I'm like, oh, well, if that's the case, then this is a spot right here. And that food was fire. It was so good, Box. A real diverse menu. Super fun, good food that I was very happy to have some leftovers to take home because, like I said, I got full kind of quick. But I highly recommend if you are at all in a space for that kind of. It was actually what I find interesting about some Indian food is very, very, very rich because they use a bunch of butter and cheese and so forth and so on. And I was like, though I was enjoying what I ate, I was like, this needs something to brighten the flavor. I had a salad at the beginning. A salad is me being highly loose with the term salad. A dish of some sort that had all kinds of vegetables and fruit and stuff in it. Not fruit per se. Well, I get fruit because it was pomegranate seeds, but it's pomegranate seed. Fruit is being giving pomegranates way more weight than they need. But it was so good and bright and fresh and a good, saying the way it tasted and kind of good crunch to it and everything I got there. That I was like, the main meal to me was not only slightly disappointing in that I was like, it needs something to brighten it up because it's so rich in its flavor, I guess. And I was like, this needs something to brighten it up. But otherwise, very, very good. Real good service. The manager made sure to stop by and make sure we was all tight and so forth. It was 7 of us in a booth, and I'm a big motherfucker. So imagine a booth, but it was a comfortable booth that my big ass could sit in without having much issue. And I wasn't like, fat man rubbing up against the table, even though I'm a fat man. So it's always good to know a place has well-built booths. USB plugs in the sockets right there on the wall. So if you need to charge up without plugging in a brick, you could have. Just a good spot, man. Very much would recommend if you want to go check it out. Decent prices and so forth and so on. A good time to be had there. Happy birthday, Jesse. It was super nice. Vanessa got her a cake from Cleveland Vegan, and that cake, I don't know what they do in vegan cakes, but that cake weighed like as much as a cinder block. And of course, I didn't try because I don't like vegan food. I'm not a vegan, so I don't need to be eating vegan food. I don't fuck with vegan food. I don't fuck with gluten-free shit. I need my gluten. And it's not that I hadn't tried it. It's not a fucking disrespectful like, oh, you just don't want to try. No, I've tried these things and I don't like the flavor profile, the textural profile, so forth and so on. I don't get down with them. But it was just nice to get out and go celebrate Jessie and have a good time. Her husband her husband has a busy job and can oftentimes, he's always on call. And can oftentimes be called away in like a second. So it was really nice that he got to hang that entire time with us because it's so rare that we get to do that. Their nephew, I got to hang out with him. He's getting older now, so it was fun to hang with him. I got to hang with one of her other sisters, her youngest sister, and her husband. And I love those two. They're like my favorites of this family. You know what I'm saying? And so I got to hang out with them as well, and it was very nice. So that's basically some tea stuff that's been going on with me. I thought I'd share that with you. Like I said, Honest Cleveland. It's over in I think it's at Parma Heights on the address.
It is. That's Parma Heights because that's literally right by my dad's house.
Okay, so is it Parma just that way? If you cut just the other side of the street, or just a little further down? Because I know it's Parma at some point there.
It's like a little bit up the street.
Okay. So that is in Parma Heights, Ohio, and if you know where the former Friendlies over there is on York, I would tell you to go check them out if you're down with some Indian food. Good prices, good food, good time to be had, y'all. So that's what's up with me. Yeah, there you go, people. You know what it is. Well, maybe you don't know. You could be new here. This could be your first time here, and I can share to you that for years now, we have gone to the subreddit. We've gone to Reddit, then dug deeper into the subreddit that is Am I the Asshole? And in this case, I got one from the Great Value AITA is also this week. And we read these things and we decide these people are assholes amongst ourselves. And then we find out what the chat says. And it has its own intro too, just like everything else in the show. So let me rattle you off one of those right quick. It is this. My phone just told me the latest episode of Severance is available right now. Guess what I'll be doing after this? Taking the garbage out first, like a responsible man, but then watching episode 7 of season 2 of Severance. I only pulled a couple of episodes out this week because they are both a little thick. So, box, here are your two examples. You know the one. Whatever. Who cares? The one from a Great Value Am I the Asshole is, am I the asshole for telling my wife I'm done with her emergency calls and leaving her stranded? And the other one is, am I the asshole for shutting off my Wi-Fi at night?
Go with that one. It made me laugh.
Fair enough. Let's see what's popping with that one. Am I the asshole for shutting off my Wi-Fi at night? This is from Human Bell, Reddit user Human Bell 9063. Hello, y'all. Hopefully this post is not too long, as I don't want to take a lot of your time. Well, thank you, Human Bell. You're good people. So let's begin from the beginning. I moved into my new apartment in July of last year, and no one lived below me for a couple of months. I want to get a little. Your boy is old and blind, so let me just crank that up. The first thing I have experienced after a couple of months, a guy moved in. The first thing I have experienced from him was blasting his music so loudly that it sounded like it was coming from my apartment, as well as vibrating my floors and walls. I have never met him before this, and after that, I asked him to just try to keep it quiet after 11 p.m. As that is around the time I go to bed. Very frequently, he does not shut it off after 11, and I get woken up at 3 a.m. To it. There was even a time where I had to miss 4 hours of my scheduled hours at work because he played it until 4 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep and had to get up at 5:30 for work to work a 12-hour shift. I have had minimal contact with him for the occasional neighbor stuff like, can you grab my package off the porch so it doesn't get stolen, etc. Well, a couple of days ago, he asked me to use my Wi-Fi for a couple of days until he can pay for his own Wi-Fi. I allowed him to use it free of charge because I know we are struggling in this economy. However, I have this deep fear of a fire happening at my house, so I unplug everything at night. That is not being used. Wi-Fi being one of them, as I do not need it when I'm sleeping. I woke up this morning to messages from my neighbors that are so disrespectful about Wi-Fi not being on. Am I the asshole? Just with that, there's a pretty chunky couple of updates after that, but just on that, is this man an asshole?
No, like I've lived in apartment buildings before where like you hear the people around you.
Yeah,
and if you've asked politely, like citywide, like right now, there's like noise ordinances for like when you're not supposed to make loud noises outside your house before a certain time in the day and after a certain time of the day.
Yeah.
If you respectfully, politely ask someone who shares a wall with you in an apartment building to like not fucking play loud ass music after 11 p.m. and like they seem cool with it, and then they continue to do it, like kind of telling you to go fuck yourself, then they come to you asking for a favor that you don't even fucking owe them, and you're still nice enough to kind of help them out a little bit. You're under no obligation to continue to go out of your way to fucking let them leech off you after they've been shitty to you to begin with.
Correct. There's no nothing to this. But let's see what the updates are. I truly don't know what it could be other than, nah, fuck you, dude. Update. Thank you all for your replies. I've decided to change my Wi-Fi password and not allow him to use it. A little more background, though, on a couple of things, though. So the apartment I live in is more of a duplex. So there's only me upstairs and the downstairs neighbor who lives here. As for the noise complaint, I have called the police, and the only thing that happens is he will turn the music off when they come, but the next day it's back to being on. I have learned there is some battles worth fighting, and this one isn't worth it. Is it worth? I don't know. And this one isn't worth my battle. And this one isn't worth my battle, as it's never going to change, no matter who.
The package on the porch thing makes more sense now. Like when he wrote it originally, I was thinking like, why the fuck would you ask some random ass person in your apartment building to get your package? But now that it's like we know it's a duplex house, it makes sense.
Yeah. I will never. Battle as it's never going to change, no matter who I go to about it. As for the whole letting him use the Wi-Fi thing, is that I don't want to cause an issue while I'm living here. I want to keep the peace as to not make things worse than they are. However, at this point, I have done everything to keep the peace, and none of it does not. Okay, that's how it's written. None of it does not seem to be working, so I might as well just be an asshole. Update 2. The Wi-Fi password has been changed, and Wi-Fi name has been changed. I don't think he appreciated that because he blew up my phone while I was in class and just texted me. But when I did not answer, I'm pretty sure he has his own Wi-Fi now, as his music is once again blaring. I'm also pretty sure he's planning something because I was just outside with my dog and girlfriend, and he was recording us through the window on his phone. I'm not sure where to go from here, as I cannot move just yet. So I think I'm going to talk to some people to see what I can do from this point forward. Update 3. I contacted the company that deals with my rental and let them know everything that has been happening. They said the only thing they can do is give him a warning, and from there they cannot do anything, and the police had to be called every time. Worthless. These rental companies are trash. As Box Knight just said, this man's not an asshole. Reddit also said he's not an asshole, but let's see if there's a fun one here. Not the asshole, but you are a little dumb. You had a perfect bargaining chip and threw it away. You can use my Wi-Fi if you stop being noisy between the hours of 11 and 8. Facts. It's weird that you unplug your Wi-Fi at night, but ultimately you can do whatever you please with it because it's yours. I have a hard time believing you're actually questioning this. Like, what am I missing? This guy can pound sand. Beggars can't be choosers. The OP responds, I mean, you aren't wrong. I did have the perfect bargaining chip. I mean, I guess it is weird, but I grew up in a household where we unplugged everything not being used, so it was less of a chance for a fire. I grew up in a firefighting home where the worst fears was a fire starting at our home. So I guess I just got used to it and have been doing it into adulthood. I mean, I'm technically not questioning it per se. I would like to say I'm not the asshole, but I could be biased without thinking as it's about me, so I want to get outside opinion. It's so weird that, people's fears are their fears. So who am I to hate on this man for unplugging everything? I fully agree with the guy who wrote it up. Bro, you got the bargaining chip. Use it. Hey man, you turn your music off at 11 o'clock. My Wi-Fi is your Wi-Fi. I will face my fear of not being able to unplug shit. I'll leave that shit on all night.
Here's one avenue though that hasn't been brought up too, is like, you don't know this dude and you have no fucking idea what he's doing on your Wi-Fi. If he starts getting into some nefarious shit, that falls back on you.
Yeah. So my Wi-Fi, and yours probably does too, any new network router has the ability to make basically a guest setup. So basically just gate him off in his own community. Say, neighbor's Wi-Fi, whatever's happening on this network is not me, and keep everything that you do on your Wi-Fi and keep it motherfucking moving. And like I said, I could do that with my router, but I don't even bother with it. I basically just have the two bands, and the fun names I named them. So this is me. If you're ever driving around my neighborhood and see these Wi-Fi networks, you'll know you're near me. My Wi-Fi networks are as follows. It is keep it on the download, and you shall not password. And those are my networks. And they also have wicked, dumb, long of secure passwords that my children hate. And when people come to the house and be like, "Hey, can I jump on your Wi-Fi?" I'm like, "Sure thing," but you're about to write some shit down, okay? So let's get ready.
Yeah, when I'm at your place, I don't even bother. I just use the fucking data.
I mean, I'll send you the password. All you gotta do is copy paste, but still, it's there. It's necessary. And that's from years of working where I work at and being over and over and over and over, bruh. Every year we train for security, and so I make secure ass passwords. My passwords at home are more secure than anything I do at work. Tell you that shit. Work don't got shit on my passwords at home, bro. I tell you that. But that's just how we roll. The other one, like I said, this one is from the Great Value of an Asshole, r/AITAH. Am I the asshole for telling my wife I'm done with her emergency calls and leaving her stranded? Taking just that.
It feels like yes. I hope it's not.
Let's build. I, 32 male, have been married to my wife, 29 female, for 4 years. We have a 3-year-old son. She's not a bad person, but she's constantly in a state of chaos, and every little thing becomes my problem. No exaggeration. I get these emergency calls multiple times a week. Flat tire, call me at work. Forget her wallet, call me. Grocery store out of her favorite oat milk, blow up my phone like the world's ending. It's relentless. I work full time and do my fair share at home with our son. Diaper duty, bedtime stories, cooking, cleaning, you name it. But these crises, the plural of crisis, are killing me. I've told her before that unless it's a real emergency, like someone bleeding or stuck on a highway at night, she needs to figure it out. I don't have the bandwidth to drop everything constantly. The last straw came 2 days ago. I had to take my son to the doctor because he had an ear infection. I was already running on fumes. While I'm in the waiting room with a fussy toddler, she calls me in a panic because she locked herself out of her car in front of Target 5 minutes from home. I told her, I can't leave. You'll have to call someone to pop the window. She freaked out, saying that would cost too much. She didn't bring enough cash, and I was being unreasonable. I stayed firm. I said she needed to figure it out and hung up. When I got home later, she was furious. She said the guy charged her $150 and I should have come to help because she didn't think to grab her wallet. I told her point blank, I'm done rescuing you from things you can easily handle. You need to stop acting like everything is a disaster. Now she's barely speaking to me, acting like I'm the villain not dropping everything for her again. My brother thinks I was harsh, but my mom says I was right to set boundaries. Am I the asshole for leaving her stranded this time?
I got some shit to say on this one. You know who this person was before you fucking married him. You can't tell me you can't sit here and tell me that this person didn't exhibit any of this behavior before you at any point in your relationship before you said I do. So you knew what you were getting into. You signed up for this. Like, granted, some of these scenarios, based on the descriptions, I can't agree, are not life-changing and probably don't deserve a call. But you signed up for this, sir. So, suck it up, Buttercup. Now, and granted, like, this one here, like, I get it, like, you're at the doctor's office with the kid, you can't leave, like, her situation wasn't an actual emergency, it was an inconvenience.
Correct.
But you still, like, are married to this person and they needed help in this scenario. Like, if they're locked out of the car, like, if anything, they just needed some direction. Because, like, they clearly didn't know what to do. Now, granted, I don't think he would have been any help because it's not like he probably has a pop lock on him handy. So they still would have had to call somebody.
Yes.
But the very least, as this person's partner, you could be there to help get them back on the right track mentally and emotionally.
I mean, in this case, there's literally nothing you can do. He's at the doctor's office with a toddler with an ear infection. He's stuck. I know in the other situations, sure thing, but this one is like, bruh, I can't do shit.
I don't mean for him to, like, leave the doctor's office.
No. I mean, you're saying probably just try to calm her down, talk her off the roof. Like, bro, I can't even do that. Fussy toddler over this bullshit. Because, like you said, it's not an emergency. Now, she's She has anxiety. She's probably bugging the fuck out. So yes, it probably should have been don't hang up on her. Kind of help out a little bit, like Box is saying. Like, come on, just talk her down off the roof as best you can. But the reality of it is you're not an asshole, but you were an asshole when you hung up on her while she was in this frenzied state. Because like Box said, you knew what you was doing. You knew who you married into with this situation. This ain't new. And I know he's trying to say, man, I'm already whooped. I'm tired. I got this baby that's sick. This time I couldn't deal with it. And I hear that and I see that. But marriage is dealing with a bunch of bullshit sometimes, bruh. Sorry. Sickness, health, better, worse. This is one of those situations, dog. So, but let's see what the comments say. First one up. Not the asshole. My car weren't open. I'm at the doctor with our son. You are not the priority. That's the comment. That's what the comment says. The OP responded, that's exactly it. I was focused on our son and it felt like she didn't see what really mattered. I can't keep putting everything aside for every little issue. Sure, I guess. Let me scroll down a little if I see anything else from... How was she even shopping at Target if she didn't have her wallet? Did she say she didn't have her wallet? Did I read that?
I think she said she didn't have enough cash.
Yeah, the restaurant. While I'm in the waiting room for Fuss's hours, she panicked. She locked herself in the car in front of Target 5 minutes from home. I told her, I can't leave you. I have to call somebody to pop the window. She freaked out, saying that would cost too much. She didn't bring enough cash, and I was being unreasonable. Yeah, she didn't say she... I should have come to help because... Oh, no, actually, it does say that. When I got home later, she was furious. She said the guy charged her $150, and I should have come to help her because she didn't think to grab her wallet. Why the fuck she go to Target without her wallet then, Box?
Maybe she was using Apple Pay. I don't know. Maybe she was picking up like a Starbucks mobile order.
Fair. People who have a Target store, okay, like people are commenting saying that you can pay through the Target app and so forth and so on.
Maybe she was meeting. Maybe she was meeting the person she was cheating on her husband with in the Target parking lot, and when she went to leave, realized that she locked her keys in the car.
I think people were trying to say she might have ADHD, but then so we have one glow-in-the-dark comment amongst that batch that says this. I take 15 meds a day, 25 pills, and my life is one big side effect. If her actual only side effect is dry mouth, then I wish I had her problems. So why would that be glow in the dark? Who gave this thing money to be like just to agree that this person? Fuck. Sometimes Reddit is about. This is why we don't go to Great Value and the asshole, because these are the people who hang out in there. Great Value people eating a fucking fake Captain Crunch.
Sometimes Great Value is pretty solid.
They do come through. Actually, I've watched many a Good Mythical Morning where they when they try stuff out and Great Value will come out on top. And a lot of times, it's actually a fine bit of product. It does not make for fine commentary on Emma the assholes. That's why y'all over here and not in the real Emma the asshole, motherfuckers. Oh my gosh, but that is it, people. You know what I'm saying? You already got your entertainment section for the show, so I'm just gonna basically wrap it up right here. And please rate, review, subscribe, and share to the show wherever possible. Hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel and hit the bell so you'll get notifications for every time we are doing the show and doing it live. Why not be on that side of the business? You know what I'm saying? If you have subscribed, thank you so very much. Keep on keeping on with us and make sure to give us a thumbs up on this video, okay? Let's get down to getting out, all right? If you want to support us financially, got a few bucks to toss away, consider joining us over on Patreon. Remember, at the $5 tier, get extra content each month and early access to new shows. February's show got fucked by some recording situations. I don't know. I'm going to try. I'm going to make up for it, and you're going to get 2 shows in March, guaranteed. And that is going to be the get down. Me and my kid are going to try some things, but we're going to talk about here shortly. We're not. We also got merch over at tpublic.com/user/Crunchy Milk, all one word. I had on our hoodie earlier, but I'm sorry, I got a little warm, so I took it off, so you can't see that. Again, I wear the merch, people. I am proud of it. I stand by it. We have solid designs. They make good product over at TeePublic. that has actually only gotten better over the years, because initially some of their stuff was pretty terrible. But they made good stuff. Wash it cold inside out the first time you get it to kind of set the printing, and you can't go wrong with that. I'm just a high recommendation for me if you search for it for any other podcast or anything. So we're over there too. Consider buying a shirt. Feel free to give us a call, 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We'd certainly love to hear from you, and of course, hear from you we have. Now, this one, of course, I read a couple of weeks back, but I'm going to read it again now because that show didn't come out. And that's from the homie Soul Power, who wrote 5 fire emojis, America, KKK, America with still spare America with the triple K, about to be even more flavorless. Great show, y'all, because, of course, that show was an episode called Tasted Like, what is it? What's the name of the episode? Flavored like an ice raid, whatever that shit. You can taste the ice raids. So, of course, that's what he was responding to. April also responded to that saying, "Lunch stopping to think about what he just said after lunch. Stopping to think about what he said after he said, 'I have smelled a couple of balls,' was hilarious. Just the long pause and then the rolling laughing emoji. No pause. Everyone knows you guys are not homophobes." Thanks, April. That's why we don't have to say pause, because we ain't homophobes.
I just find pause to be funny. That's all.
It's so stupid after all these years that people still go pause. Speaking of what, April definitely hit up. I know it's April because just trust. I know it's April. And if it's not April, if I'm wrong, and somebody else hit up our wish list and sent these items to us, well, damn it, I'm shocked. And 2, let us know. I don't want to be giving credit away, but I'm going to give credit in this case to April, who has always been down to get down with us. And she hit up our wish list and snagged a couple of items off of it, one of which is definitely for Daniel, and I have to get it to him sooner than later. It is a Gengar whiskey glass. Even though he doesn't drink whiskey anymore, he can probably sip a little, water or Kool-Aid out of it or something, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a get down. It's really cute. Thanks for getting that off our list. And this is also a box of Ninja treats, which, of course, you can't really see. So let me do this right quick. Let's turn off the mirroring. Ninja's treats, and in this,
Ninjas with a Z.
and treats with a Z as well. And what should be in this, if I am correct, is a selection of Japanese Kit Kats. So let's pull out the Ak and crack this bad boy up. Did I unlock this? I locked it. I thought I unlocked it, and I think this is going to be a bunch of Japanese Kit Kat. And indeed it is. Oh, this is nice. They give you a little list. And basically this is classic, dark chocolate, raspberry, chocolate orange, apple pie, matcha, strawberry shortcake, strawberry gâteau chocolate, cacao, which is 72% cocoa nibs, and milk tea is what's in this box. I also, of course, have the ones that Nick sent us. And so me and the kid are going to what?
When you say cocoa nibs, I just think cocoa nips. Then I start thinking about titties and.
Well, I mean, whomst amongst us? But me and the kid are going to sit and try the ones that Nick sent us and the ones that are in this box for one of the We Trieds we're going to do here for March. So that'll be a good time to be had by some. I was looking for the Post Malone Oreos. I have no real affinity toward Post Malone, but I can always appreciate a delicious Oreo, and I can't find them shits anywhere. And I'm not putting that much effort into it. Trust me. Again, remember, we don't really get down with Oreo that hard anymore on this program, because we had done it for years, and basically it's rare that Oreo could come out and do something that impressed us any longer. But they look tasty as an idea. So if I come across them, I'll let you know what we think. But there you go. That was it. Did a whole show. Front to back, back to front. So that's what it is, y'all. Our missing man is the 216's own Tatum 216. I literally, after I get done with this, probably not, because it's kind of late. So tomorrow, I'm going to hit him up and I'm going to be like, hey, man, what's up with you? In the fact, in how he wants to proceed with getting back to this, if that is something he is ready to do as of yet. That's the other 216's on Lunchbox 2099.
Nailed it.
Every damn time. I am the Internet Terror 713. Don't make me push for the traffic. We'll do this again next time. Peace, y'all.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.